land is your land, and this land is my land, from the California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went a-walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. The voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me.
And the talents of another singer-songwriter are featured on Saturday evening when Randy Travis, the young country music star, performs at the Royal Albert Hall at 8:05.
Arena continues to brighten Friday nights on BBC Two. This Friday, Jana Bokova's idiosyncratic portrait of Barcelona, a city that delights in the unexpected. A homage to Catalonia's colourful capital. Arena, Friday at 9 on 2.
And now on 2, here's Bill Giles with his Weatherview.
A very good evening to you. Well, the weather certainly is changing. We're starting to see the winds begin to pick up through tomorrow, and then certainly windier weather than we've had for some time. The culprit, this low pressure area sitting in the Atlantic, winds of 50-60 miles an hour circulating around at the moment and driving these weather fronts on, so that by midday tomorrow the first of them will be coming onto the western side, bringing not just the windy weather but some wet weather with it too. Indeed, if you are a surfer, best to get out your wetsuit now and your surfboard. And if you went off down to somewhere like Cornwall over the next few days, I think some quite good surfing weather as these winds freshen up and push their way in from the Atlantic. Well as rain coming in, some strong winds, as I've mentioned. These arrows here show winds of about gale force, and you can see that as we go through tonight, those strongish winds coming into northern parts of Ireland, western parts of Scotland. So a very windy day up in here tomorrow. And indeed, over most parts of England and Wales as well, the southerly winds freshening up a little bit more than we've had for some time. Now, as well as wind, rain, the rain is off the western coast of Ireland at the moment, shown by this speckled area, and you can see that as we go through tonight and into tomorrow, that rain then continually pushes its way in, crosses Ireland, gets into western parts of Scotland, down the western fringes of England and Wales by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, before it dries up a little bit, and then more unsettled weather already beginning to push into Ireland by that time. So that's set the scene. Let's have a look and see what this means in detail. Well, a lot of cloud across the country just at the moment. One or two holes in the cloud, one particularly up in northeastern parts of Scotland. Another one we've had creeping its way in from the continent over the southeastern part of England, but it's not reliable. That could well fill in with cloud and the cloud break up somewhere else. But where the cloud does break, there could be some mist and fog patches around later on through tonight, and perhaps a touch of frost as well. Temperatures just about getting down to 0. Although I think it's up in northeast Scotland where we're going to get the lowest temperatures through tonight, about -1 degree Celsius or 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Now on the western side, no frost. We've seen those winds freshen up, the cloud staying with you right the way through the night too, and indeed by the end of the night there will be a little bit of rain coming into the far northwestern part. So a lot of cloud, a lot of dull weather around to start with tomorrow. The mist and fog gradually clearing away, and then if we're going to see any sunshine, I think it's likely to be on this eastern side of the country, but still I think a good deal of cloud right the way through the day. Over in the west, the cloud continuing to thicken up all the way through the morning, the rain coming across Ireland into western parts of Scotland, getting by the end of the afternoon into central parts of Scotland, some quite heavy rain there too, and this rain crossing the Irish Sea, some rain into the western part of Wales, into the far southwestern part of England as well. Now, as that rain comes eastwards, then so it'll gradually clear away in many parts of Ireland, but as we've already seen, some more showery rain sitting out to the west to come in tomorrow evening. It's going to be a coldish day tomorrow. I think we're going to feel it colder because the winds are going to freshen up quite a lot. 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, for instance, only just into the low 40s Fahrenheit. And it's up in these northern and northwestern parts where I think it's going to feel quite cold, with those winds getting up to gale force from time to time. Well, that's it from me. A very good night to you.
And just a quick look ahead to our programmes on 2 tomorrow evening. At 6 o'clock, the feature film Hard, Fast and Beautiful is the story of tennis player Florence Farley and her mother's ambitious plans for her, both off and on the court. Murray Pariah plays Beethoven's 2nd and 4th piano concertos at 7:15, and then Food and Drink at 8:30 investigates the continuing hubbub over hormones in beef. It visits some pubs which brew their own beer and samples Thai food at a Buddhist festival. At 9 o'clock, the award-winning story of intrigue and romance in 16th century Venice, Cariani and the Courtesans, starring Paul McGann, Simon Callow, Michael Gough and Diana Quick. Newsnight is at 10:30, and then at 11:20 the first of 3 films about the cultural changes in Gorbachev's Russia focuses on the cinema. The Arts and Glasnost completes Tuesday night here on BBC Two. And the time, well, it's just about 1 minute past midnight, and BBC Two is closing down. So on behalf of all of us here, may I wish you a very good night.